Hey, we've got this 4th gen 4Runner here. It's in for a bunch of goodies, so stay tuned about what we're gonna do for it. But these lights, these are the factory lights. You can see they're hazed up and a little bit yellow, and they got the fracture cracks in them, the stress cracks. That happens to all lights, and this one specifically, you'll see in a second, it's a very dim output. Projector is probably burned up. And down below, we've got no plug and play options for this except for LED bulbs, but the customer really would like us to fit in some SS3s. It's been done on the forums. We're gonna try to document the process and get this 4Runner up to modern day standards in terms of performance. And check out what's next. We're gonna show you the process a little bit, how to modernize and improve the lighting on this. So we're going to take some readings before we get started on this conversion of the output of the low beams. And I'm just going to show you what I see on the wall. It's hard to see, but the passenger side is really worn out. On higher mileage vehicles, the projector does burn up or haze up, and you can see it's definitely compromised on the passenger side. So we can get a quick reading before and after of how this looks. You got those typical squirrel finders. There's a little bit of light above the cutoff. I'll show you what I'm doing here just to get a reading. And we're gonna take the reading in the same exact place once we're all done. So we're gonna take the highest peak intensity reading. It's about 135, 38 lux. And on the other side, even though the driver's side overlaps it, you can see how much weaker this is. So it's about a third of the brightness. Only about 48 lux. Where it counts. And where it counts is right about here, right at that cutoff. So this is gonna be our before, and we'll show you how that looks like later on once we're all done. Now we're hoping to do something with the fog lights as well. That's me turning on the factory fog lights. You can see they are hitting the wall. They are fairly effective, especially when you're comparing with the factory halogen headlights. That's the front end of the vehicle. Let's back up a little bit so you can see the ground here. We'll show you what we're gonna do, but we'd like to put in some SS3 fog lights in here. Even though they don't make them for this model, we hope we can come up with something. All right, so stay tuned on that. Hey, we got a 4th gen 4Runner here. Customer showed us a picture from a forum of the SS3 installed in this. There's no model specific bracket, but that's actually the F2 bracket that holds the Ford F-150 and Super Duty, and then an angled bezel from the new Toyota Type B fog light kit. So it's kind of a hybrid. We go to the back. This is what the stock one looks like. There's an adjuster. It gets pegged in on the bottom, and then you got 2 little snap-in points right on here. Now, this is where the original fog light set in. We made a new hole here for the F2. On the other side, it's actually already set up that way, so it just slid in. And you might ask, there's nothing really holding it from shifting up and down, but the bezel actually sandwiches it in, and it cannot move up and down, so it's nice and solid. And you got full adjustment. Let us know what you think. So as you can see, we've got the new headlight assemblies on. They look really similar to stock, except they have the LED strip built in. Now that LED strip, they call it a LED DRL. It's actually just a parking light. However, it's actually pretty bright. Show you how that looks. And we'll show you a little bit. Once the lights are off in the shop, we'll do some readings. But it gives it a modern look. We can do this conversion on the regular, factory style headlights or these aftermarket. They actually share the same, similar internals, so that'll work. We've got the Diode Dynamics XP80 amber bulbs. Now those run as turn signals, but they're also going to be running as the factory daytime running lights when we start the vehicle, so we can show you that in a little bit later. Down below, we've got the Diode Dynamics SS3 fog lights. We were able to squeeze those in. Customer provided instructions from the forum. It's a F2 mount that's back here, so it's sort of a hybrid. On the front, we've got an angled bezel from the new Toyotas, and it sandwiches in, and it's a really good fit in there. We did the fog light mod. We're going to show you the fog lights. Those are the SS3 Max. Show you how those look output wise in a second once the lights are off. But these are the brightest fog lights that are available. They come in yellow and white. You can also get them in the Sport or Pro version, but if you want the absolute best performance, that's the way to go. So you can see this whole front end has been sort of facelifted, made a little bit newer, yet it still retains the factory look of the 4th gen 4Runner. So we're gonna let the HID system warm up right now and check back in a second. All right, we've got the lights off in the shop. You can see the setup, how it's gonna perform in the night. And that's how everything looks. Can we see the fog lights on really quick? Let's take a step back, show you how those illuminate. You can see where the projectors start and when the fog lights are as well. So the projectors start a little bit in front of the vehicle, not directly in front of the hood or anything, but they start at a good point. We're 25 feet away from the wall. Can we turn off the fog lights really quick? So that's low beams only. This is the G5-BRT by Xenon conversion with the Osram CBN bulbs. It's one of the best bulbs and projector combos that we use. It's really high performance. As you remember earlier in the video, we did a quick lux test. I have a meter. I believe the measurement was about 136 and 54. The passenger side was weaker. So yeah, this is a huge jump. Seeing about 900 lux on the passenger side. Usually you see a little bit higher on the passenger side. Before, let's see, this one's hitting about 900 as well. So it's a massive jump. I'm not gonna do the math right now in my head, but we went from about 150 peak intensity to about 900. Can we see with the fog lights on? So again, SS3 Max really gives you a nice wide field of vision. It's hard to see in here because we're in a narrow warehouse, but massive upgrade for this 4Runner. So if you guys need anything, email us. It's info@lightwerkz.net. Check out the website. We've got these parts packages available. It may be hard for you to configure it yourself, so we're happy to answer any questions. And we look forward to discussing this with you. Leave a comment below, subscribe to the channel. We'd love to hear from you. Thanks again.